Hey y'all, this is Amanda with She's a Mad Gardener, and today I'm going to be putting together a floral arrangement. I'm going to be using a combination of blooms from my garden and blooms that I got from the grocery store. So basically what I've done is I've cut all my blooms from the garden. I put them in a vase of water overnight with food, and then I've done the same thing with the grocery store ones. I've put them in a vase of water with food in there so that they can perk up and really get well adjusted over the evening. I've got my shears and I've got my binding wire to put together my design. I'm going for a little bit more of a clean line design. There's not going to be a lot of greenery in it. I'm going to be working with this vessel right here, which is a salt glazed antique pitcher that I picked up over spring break when we were at an antique store, and so I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I already owned this one, which belonged to my great grandmother, and so I wanted to add to my collection. This one has a sweet deer on the front and a little bit of kind of a greenery and a tree, and so it's beautiful. So maybe working with this design. The goal is to keep this design a little bit low and compacted. I'm not going for tall and crazy. So let's get started. As a reminder, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also make sure you hit your notification bell. Remember, every comment, every subscription, and every bell helps build my channel, and I really appreciate it. So today's design is also going to be a handheld design, meaning I'm going to design all the floral holding it in my hand. I'm going to bind it off with the binding wire, trim it, and put it in the vase. So I'm not going to be designing directly into the vase. All right.
I used to let it in, all the things you said. You try to turn me into somebody else, but it will ricochet. I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you. 'Cause it will ricochet, I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. I used to let it in, all the things you said. You try to turn me into somebody else, but it will ricochet. I won't let it bite. I will look at you and tell you that I'm alright. Like a ricochet, it will come back to you. Let me tell you, no, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. And even if you're trying to hurt me, my skin's getting thicker each day. I don't know how you fall asleep at night, knowing that your words are hurtful, it's just not right. No, because my eyes are open, your words will keep bouncing away. Like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet, like a ricochet. Shooting me with words, but I won't let them bruise. Even though it hurts, I won't show it to you, 'cause it will ricochet. I won't let it.
Okay, now that I've got to the end of my bouquet, I've got everything, you can still go in and use your fingers to kind of pull up. So 2 fingers and go underneath the bloom. You can gently tease it upwards, okay, if you want it to pull up into the design. On the opposite end, if you have a bloom and you want it to go further down in the design, you can locate where that bloom is. Let's see if I can find it, and you can gently pull it so that it settles into the design a little bit more. And I'm happy with how this turned out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the binding wire. I did want to point out, if you have to make sure you have a successful hand-tied design, you can see all of my stems are going the same direction in here. So when I'm inserting a stem, I'm inserting it in the same direction every time. If I have to rotate the bouquet to make that the same direction, that's what I want to do. And then you can see all the stems are kind of in a slight swirl, all going the same direction around the bouquet. So I'm going to take a little bit of binding wire right here. Now you can use floral tape, you can use pretty much anything you got on hand, a little bit of ribbon or something like that. And I'm going to work it around the base of the design where my hand is. Now, I am not going to pull this very tight. If you pull this really tight, first of all, you're going to cut off water supply to the blooms. Secondly, there's a really good chance that you're going to break the actual stems, all right? So I'm going to tie it loosely, and then I'm going to give it a little shake and let the blooms loosen up, work their way to the edges, and then all of your sudden your bouquet has grown by an additional maybe 3 to 4 inches. All right, looking good. So I'm going to take my beautiful new pot, which I'm super excited about. Go ahead and pour some water into it, and I'm going to trim my stems. Now, you don't want your stems to sit at the bottom of the vase. They're more likely to smash and not be able to take up as much water. So I'm going to come across, kind of do an estimate. So the design is actually going to rest on the lip of the pitcher. All right, so I'm going to do an initial trim. I'm going to get down here and estimate. Yep, I'm going to take just a little bit more off. I'm using my shears for this. I like to do this more than I like to use a pair of scissors. I'm going to put it into the base. give it a little shake and loosen it up as it sits in the vase. And then I can turn it and take a good look at it and see what I think. Yes. Thank you. Okay, so I've got this design together. Love it. You can still go in because you haven't made that binding wire super tight. You can still go in and pull up a few blooms, feature them. Like this tulip right here is sitting a little bit lower than I would like to see. So I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna give it a gentle little pull. And there it goes. It's gonna come up for you, all right? So you can look around and do that. I happen to have this one random tulip in the bunch that was white with pink striations on it. Pull that guy up because it's beautiful. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this simple tutorial utilizing blooms from my garden and utilizing blooms from the grocery store. I'm within about a few months of being, I'm within a few weeks of being able to do full floral designs from Floral, all from my garden, not having to supplement with the grocery store. So I am super excited and can't wait to bring you guys new material, new videos showing these floral arrangements. As always, she's a mad gardener or a decorator or anything else that she wants to be. Thanks, y'all.